Welcome once again to another episode of the Open Bar Sports Talk Edition. As you know, I am your boy, Connoissuer Big U. Thank you for coming to hang out with me tonight. Talk a little basketball. It's a celebration, bitches. The Knicks have secured another win, and I'm feeling good right now. Maybe this might have something to do with it, but I think it's more the Knicks than anything, man. Okay, so New York wins another game. Against who, you ask? The Dallas Mavericks, who are not a cupcake team. This is not a game that, if I was looking at their schedule, that I would have checked off really as a winnable game, which, as always, leaves the Knicks to be a conundrum because it's like they play against the Magic, they play against other teams that I think they could possibly win against, they lose. And then in a game where I think that, we really don't have a chance, I just want us to come out, have a decent showing, we win the game. Who knows? I'm good with it, though. I'm happy about it. And I'm here to talk about it. So, big shout to twin Marcus Morris. Did his thing tonight, man. 29 points, 9 rebounds. That man was a flamethrower out there killing. Hope he keeps up that good play. Also, Julius Randle, want to give a shout out to you, brother, for finally putting in a Julius Randle-esque performance. I don't know, Julius Randle a little long, but I'm going to stick with it. He got 21 points and 8 rebounds, and he did shoot a couple more threes than I would have preferred, but he did have a lot of work in that paint area, man. I think that's where he's going to be successful at the end of the day. Shot 50% from the field. Shooting percentage would have been even higher if he would have stayed away from that three-point line. But, in this NBA, they encourage you to shoot threes. It is what it is. We also had some solid help from the bench for the role players. Not just the bench, but the people that, the surrounding cast, the supporting cast outside of Julius and Twin. Frank Money showed up again. Did play over 30 minutes again. I think that might be a key to him being effective in the game. Give that man time to get comfortable on that floor, man. His defense was key. Played well, had 14 points, 5 rebounds or 6 rebounds, and I think 4 assists. Was pretty much filled up that stat sheet. Looked sturdy out there. Didn't look shaky. Didn't look like he was lacking confidence, and I think that's because they gave him that time on the floor. I think that's all he was missing. Fizdale invested that time in him, and he is paying dividends with that investment, man. So props to Frank. Taj Gibson was also solid. Only missing 1 or 2 shots in the game. 12 points, 8 rebounds in nominal time. Didn't play a lot of minutes, but with the bigs that we have, Fizdale is spreading the time around between the bigs that we do have, and he got in, and he definitely made his minutes count. So props to Taj Gibson. Bobby Portis did his thing, also scored in double digits. The Knicks were hitting on all cylinders pretty much tonight, and that showed well and did end up turning into a victory for the team. So, go Knicks. If there was one criticism that I would have of the team, it's something that I think every team is falling victim to this, and that's shooting a whole bunch of three-pointers. It seems that everybody on the team is searching for that three-point line. Where I feel like if we just moved the ball around and got more better shots inside the three-point line, then I think that shooting percentage will be up. We'd score more, and it will put pressure on the other team to defend us more. Because we're jacking up threes from everywhere, but like I said, it's not something that's unique to the Knicks. This is the way that the league is played now. I'm listening to the announcers talk about shots that people almost hit now. And that's something. Like, oh, look how close he came to hitting that shot, which made no damn sense to me. But if this is what they're doing now, I guess I got to be part of it because I'm watching these games. So what are you going to do, man? But I don't like the three-pointers. I wish that we would. With the team that we have a young, athletic, and we have some decent size on our team, even though we did not have Mitchell Robinson again. So our tallest player, not our biggest player, but our tallest player, was missing in action. That did give us some issues with protecting the rim. But with the team we have, with the young guys, the athleticism, I think we need to get to the basket, push the ball up and down the court, run, force a fast-paced game, and I think that will bode well for us. we did to an extent in this game, and it did end up working well. We scored well, and we kept Dallas from scoring a bunch of points, you know. So I think, you know, that's the objective of the game pretty much, you know, to score and not allow the other team to score a lot. It was close down the stretch, as always, because we do have bad free throw shooting. We missed a bunch of free throws down the stretch that would have iced the game. So it did become kind of a nail biter, but in the end, we won. And, you know, as a Knicks fan, I'll take the W any way that I could get it, by hook or by crook. And we did walk away with the victory, man. So props to the Knicks. Like I said, Dallas did put up a fight. Luka Doncic had a triple-double. He had, I think, 38 points, 15 rebounds, and 10 assists, which is crazy. And the unicorn, old Porzingis, which I'm glad that we did win this game, because he wanted to leave the Knicks, so they had to get rid of him, so they sent him to Dallas. And now when our first, you know, encounter against him in Dallas, we picked up a victory. He had 28 points, 9 rebounds, and 5 blocked shots. So the unicorn is still getting up there blocking shots. You know, no hate on him. I probably would have wanted to escape the organization if it was in a shambles the way that it was when he was there. But I'm still not rooting for you to win when you're playing against my team. So take that L. Get your goofy, long-necked giraffe unicorn ass out of here, and we'll see you in the garden next time. One thing that we did see in this game, from a standpoint of people that are looking at Dallas, where they're trying to say that with Luka Doncic and Porzingis, they're doing this dynamic duo thing and saying that these guys are putting Dallas into a position where they can be contenders in the West and all of that. This game did expose that they are soft as terry cloth. They are soft as a baby's bottom. They are, you know, ice cream dreams and silk, like these dudes, because the Knicks pretty much did whatever they wanted. And again, I will reiterate, as I always do, the Knicks are not a very good team. So if you allow a team that is just getting up and down and getting after it to do what they did to Dallas, you know, moving forward, that may be an issue for them. If a team that's a better team takes that same approach and gets physical with them, they could have problems. So I think they need to figure something out on their side, you know, moving forward into the season. But again, don't care about Dallas. I'm all for the Knicks, and I'm happy about the outcome of this game. Hopefully, you know, we can round off these 10 games that I'm giving them before I give my critiques of what's going on with another victory. Because as it stands, in our first 9 games, we are 2-7, which is not good at all. I'm not going to lie and say that I expected us to win a bunch more games than that, but 2-7 does sound a little crazy. 3-7 would sound better than 2-8. So I'm rooting that they win this next game before I come back to you guys with the bad news, because you know what it's looking like. It may be better news if they can put together 2 performances in a row where it seems like they're turning a corner and getting into playing a certain kind of way. You know, it may be better, but right now I don't have a bunch of good news. And it's crazy because on the Knicks side, I hate the 3-pointers with us taking a lot of threes, because I feel like with our young team, young athletic team, we should be getting up and down and attacking it that way. On the Dallas side, or any opponent that we play against, I love the threes, because the Mavericks have 2 marquee players. Both of them, if they went to the basket, could probably go to the line 100 times. I'm sure they'd get favorable calls. They were at home. But what they chose to do instead as a team is jack up a bunch of 3-pointers. Luka Doncic did have 38 points, but he was 3 for 11 from the 3-point line. And then Tim Hardaway Jr., who we did have, he used to do the same thing when we had him, shot 3 for 10 from the 3-point line. And these guys take these shots. They're shooting 3. Like, there was a play where Luka Doncic did a crossover 5 feet behind the 3-point line and then shot a step back where he shot the 3 from the hash mark. And this was one of those shots where the announcer, after he misses, like, of course he's going to fucking miss. He's shooting from the hash line. Says, like, oh, that shot was right on line and it almost went in. Like, I don't give a fuck about shots almost going in. I hope he takes 10 more of those, and then the Knicks could definitely win with ease. But, like, this is the state of the NBA. This shit is crazy. This is like I said, I think we got a lot of Sherm heads out there. I think you got a lot of people getting wet. I think you got a lot of people smoking dust. I think you got a lot of people sniffing glue and all those types of things. And, you know, they're in control of the league, and they're trying to push it into a place where, I guess, shooting threes, you know, back in the days, the game was fast paced and we had high scores and all of that, but shooting a three is more exciting to people than taking another shot because they're not making a super high percentage of them, but they are shooting a bunch of them, and to me that shit is just crazy. Like, it don't make no sense. But you know, if it helps us to win, and I think that it will, because the Knicks are not a great three-point shooting team, so we're not going to take an awful lot of them. And if we can take more high percentage shots closer in, and then the people that we're playing against want to jack up a whole bunch of threes, you know, let them do it. I know Steph Curry has changed the NBA, but Steph Curry is a great three-point shooter. A lot of these guys that are jacking up threes, you know, they're not great three-point shooters. So, but like I said, I'll take the victories. Keep jacking up threes. Our opponents, please, you know, jack up as many threes as you want. Step back to the hash mark, whatever, you know, smoke that sherm, get wet, do what you want to do. As long as it ends up in the Knicks victory, you know, I ain't gonna hold you. Okay, so now we're gonna get into that segment again, that new segment that I was talking about in the last video that I call Who's Hot and Who's Not. So on the hot side of things, I'm pretty sure you guys know with the way I started out the video that coming in again, the defending hot champion, Twin again, man. Like I said, he was a flamethrower. This guy was hitting from everywhere. He was locked in from the beginning of the game, and from the beginning all throughout into the end, making clutch shots right when Dallas would make a run to pull close. Twin was there to knock a big three down, or, you know, a two dribble pull up or something like that. He was knocking down shots all game long. You know, props to that man, and I hope, you know, whatever it is that he's doing that has him where you can tell with the expression on his face and everything, he's locked in. Whatever has him locked in, I hope he stays locked in and just keeps it going. Now on the other side, the not hot player of the game. You got Twin was hot and who was not. Unfortunately, I have to give this one to my boy, the Maple Mamba, R.J. Barrett. He was 1 for 9 from the field. Damn! Yes. For a total of 3 points. He did have 8 rebounds and 4 assists. So, you know, he did kind of fill that stat sheet a little, but the shooting performance and the hot or not is going to be about strictly shooting. His shooting performance was not a great one in this game. He hadn't been shooting great from the field even coming into this game. He did cool off a little there. Last game, I think he was like 4 for 11, but this game, you know, he's a young player and they play him a lot of minutes. So I think he might be kind of, you know, needing a rest. Maybe he needs to play less minutes. They need to pull him back some. I'm not going to say that they need to load manage him because he's a young guy and I think he'll be all right and figure it out, you know, in the flow of the game. But he is today's not player. R.J. Barrett, you know, I'm not going to stay on you too much because that's my rook and I fuck with him. But tonight he was not hitting anything. So better luck next game, brother. And again, like I said about the last player, maybe he can turn it around and turn himself into the hot player of the next game. Okay, so you remember that last game's not player was Wayne Ellington.
You smoke crack, don't you?
And I don't know if he went crazy. He was shooting a bunch of threes, taking every shot was a good shot to him. Wasn't making any of them. But he was taking a lot of them, and I think that may have gotten him out of the favor of the coach because it seemed to me that Fizdale was playing this guy, you know, he was going to play him no matter who. If he had Jordan in his prime on the bench, but Wayne Ellington needed to get in the game, he was putting Wayne Ellington in the game. If he had Magic Johnson, like it just seemed he was putting this guy in. And, you know, I needed Frank Ntilikina to play minutes. He was not letting him play. He was putting Ellington in. All of these other guys, Ellington. But this game, he was a DNP. And I didn't see an injury listed in the box score. And I didn't see him touch the floor. But maybe it's because of, you know, his ineffectiveness in these previous games leading up to now where, you know, maybe he got that call. They say, yo, look, man, we watched Open Bar Sports Talk and Big U said that Wayne Ellington was the not player of the game, so let's get him out of here. Might have happened. I doubt it, but who knows? But he did not see the court at all. Another person that was missing from the game was my guy Iggy Brasdakis. I did hope that the Rooks saw some time, but I'm not mad in this game because if you remember what I said before, in the games where we weren't very competitive, that's the time to throw the Rook in there and get him, let him get his feet wet. Let him learn to swim, throw him in the water. But in a game like this where we were playing against a team that's supposed to be a good team and we were having a pretty decent performance, I'm not mad that Fizdale did hold the Rook out and, save him for a game where either we have a nice lead or you can put him in early and get him minutes in a situation where it's not going to be paramount in the outcome of the game. So, we'll see you soon, Iggy. You did get in a couple of times and you're not forgotten, Alonzo Trier did show up in this game, played a few minutes, is not looking very good in these past couple of games. He was close to being the not player of the game, but he did not take enough shots because overall he's pretty ineffective. I would say RJ Barrett shot cold, but at least he was effective in other areas and putting that effort forth and trying to, have an impact on the game. And I don't think ISO Zoe is doing much in it. Maybe because he's not getting a lot of touches, not getting a lot of shots. I think he only took 4 shots this game, which probably to him is, he's a player that he gets going with how his offense is going, which I don't think is a good thing. But he wasn't looking good, and he needs to try to figure out a way to have an impact on the game without necessarily having to get off a bunch of shots to try to score. So we'll see moving forward how that works out, and if he figures it out, makes that adjustment so that he can get in the game and be on the floor. But overall, I'm happy with the performance that we got from our Knickerbockers this game, and I give this performance because we can approve. I didn't really want to rate the prior games that they would have all been approved for the most part, except for the one game that we won against the Bulls. And in that game, it was from a monstrous effort from Bobby Portis against the team. It was like a revenge game for him. So outside of that, that game wasn't as impressive. This game, from beginning to end, was a pretty impressive effort from the Knicks as a team. And so I approved this game. So I hope that moving forward, like I said, in this next game, that we come out with the same effort, the same complete team effort on both ends of the floor. Our offense is still a work in progress, so we're not going to score 110, 120 points. So what we need to do is get after it defensively. We did this game, and hopefully in the games that are coming up, we can do the same thing, and we'll see how it goes, man. If you hang your hat on defense, I think that you can be successful, because if you can keep yourself close in the game, you always have a chance to win it in the end. Or if you can get a little bit of a lead and you're playing defense, you have a chance of holding on to that lead and winning in the end. So let's see how it goes. And as always, we're going to end this one the way we end everyone, with the call for the signing of Melo As. Okay, so tonight, Twin had 29. Julius Randle poured in 20 points. But what if you had a third player on the team that was capable of giving you 20 some odd points at any given moment at the drop of a hat? Wouldn't that make it easier for the Knicks on the offensive end to produce, to get through, to win these games? If we could score 115, 120 points instead of 102 or 105 points, wouldn't that put more pressure on the defense to have to stop our team and make it easier for our defense, so we wouldn't have to keep the other team to such a low amount of points in order for us to get a win? I think that Carmelo could be effective in putting us in that position, because he is a consummate professional with a lethal array of offensive moves that can destroy any defender. And that shit was freestyle. I didn't write note. That shit was cool, what I just said. I don't know what I said. I'll probably look back at it and think that it was cool. But lethal something or other, Carmelo Anthony is the man, and we need him on the Knicks, man. Jim Dolan, stop fucking playing, man. Make that call. I don't know if you have Carmelo's number anymore, Jim Dolan, but I'm sure that there are plenty of people that you could get it from. He might not fuck with you because I don't really fuck with you. You seem like an asshole, you know. But, get Carmelo on the team and maybe I won't think that you're as much of a, you know. But get Melo, man. As always, thanks you guys for hanging out with me for a while. You know that the drinks, the conversation, the laughs, the tomfoolery is always on the house. Cuz we can, many cannot. Until next episode,